Hi everyone, welcome. We're going to get started in just a moment with some chair yoga and gentle standing yoga. And this class is sponsored by the Corktown Health Center. So for class today, it could be helpful to have a chair, obviously, or you can always sit on the floor or on your yoga mat. But it might, for something we're going to do at the end, it would be nice to have some space where you could lay on the floor. It doesn't have to be on a yoga mat, it could be on rug, carpet, but just some space where you'll lay on the floor, and we're also going to use our chair. So today I want to talk about self-care. And self-care is a very trendy term right now. It's a buzzword, and people think about, getting a manicure in a bubble, having a bubble bath and a glass of wine, or getting a massage. But self-care is much more than just this buzzword. It's really deep, nourishing things that we need to do to take care of ourselves. And with everything that's going on in the world right now, self-care that helps us replenish ourselves and nourish ourselves is more important than ever. And it can really be an act of resistance. So if you're feeling like I don't have time for self-care because I need to go out and help my family, help my community, take action for these values that I believe in, fight for social justice, I would say self-care is part of that work. Self-care, it can be a political act, an act of resistance, because we can't give from an empty cup. I don't know if you've heard this phrase before. You can't pour from an empty cup, or you can't pour from an empty well. That we have to fill our own well or fill our own cup to be able to work with others, to give to others. So today I'm going to be talking about some concepts in yoga that I think can really be helpful for us in finding that balance of taking action out in the world and then knowing when we need to turn inward to replenish our own well, right? So I want to turn to the Yoga Sutras, which are an ancient yoga text, and the 8-limb path of yoga, specifically to the last 3 limbs from the 8-limb path. And those are dharana, dhyana, and samadhi. And so I will explain what those mean now. So dharana is kind of thought of as the beginning part of meditation. Sometimes it's translated as concentration, but I think it's more than just concentrating, and concentrating tends to make you think of like tensing and like staring hard at something. And it's not that. It's more of a contemplation, focused contemplation and easeful reflection, and it's focusing inward. It's using the previous limb, which is called pratyahara, of turning the senses inward to begin to find focus. So one way that we're not going to do here, but one common way to do dharana is through candle gazing meditation. So it's a meditation you actually do with your eyes open. And so if you've only done meditation with your eyes closed, I encourage you to try this on your own, where you light a candle and you gently just look at the candle flame. And it's not a hard stare. Again, it's not that tensing of concentration, but you're focusing. You're bringing all your awareness to observing the candle flame, and that's called tritaka. So the next step after dharana, after this focused contemplation, is dhyana, which translates as meditation. So it's the idea of moving our focus to having this total absorption, like we're totally, completely focused in meditation. And an analogy that's often given is in dharana, we're noticing each individual raindrop. Let's say it's raining, you're noticing the raindrops. And then in dhyana, it's when the raindrops merge with the stream or the river and it just all becomes water, right? So it's no longer these individual raindrops, but it's the whole river or the whole ocean. That's the idea in dhyana, in meditation. And then the third concept I want to talk about is samadhi, which translates as liberation or enlightenment. Sometimes that might seem like, oh, that's like something magical that I'll never achieve, that's impossible, or that's only, you have to like be a yogi like on a mountaintop living in a cave, right, and meditate for 100 days. No, there's lots of different ways in our everyday life that we can achieve these senses of samadhi. So I just want to read a quote about it because I think it illustrates it really well. So samadhi is the state of being intensely present without a point of view. In other words, in samadhi, you perceive all points of view of reality at once, without focusing on any particular one. Virtually all of us have had a taste of this state. Some people have had this experience during worship, others during lovemaking, still others while alone in the woods. Samadhi is the state in which you are aware at a cellular level of the underlying oneness of the universe. And I really love that quote. It's from Judith Lassiter. And it's because that's what the word yoga means, is union, connection. So in samadhi, whether it happens through meditation, through like yoga asana movement practice, or some of these other things that she mentioned in the quote, it's the way that we can begin to feel that connection with one another, with nature, with the world around us, perhaps with the divine. So I think these three terms are really important when we're thinking about self-care, because we have to know when to turn inward and focus inward, to take some time for contemplation and meditation. And when we have these moments of pure joy, that's the samadhi, that pure joy, these little like sparks, right, of enlightenment, we could call them, or pure joy, however you want to think of it, that connection, that feeling totally connected with someone else, that helps us better go out and do our work in the world, right? That helps replenish our well so that we can go out and take action and do the work that we need to do right now, because there is so much going on that can completely overwhelm us. So let's take a moment to begin to put these things into practice. We know they can seem abstract. So we're going to start with a short meditation, and we're going to start with a mudra called dhyana mudra, meaning the meditation, that limb of yoga. And we're going to place one hand on top of the other and then bring your thumbs to touch. So you're forming like a circle in the space between your thumbs, and then the backs of the hands rest down in your lap. And sit up nice and tall. You could sit in a chair, or you might be sitting on the floor, maybe legs crossed, whatever's most comfortable. And whichever hand is on top, like whatever feels most natural for you is fine. See if you can relax your shoulders, your elbows might bend, you might close your eyes. So this mudra or hand position helps us to again find that easeful reflection and contemplation and focus all of our attention in meditation. So just take a moment here to notice how you're feeling. Notice your body, notice your mind, your mood. There's no right or wrong. Whatever you're feeling is valid, and it's part of your experience right now. Notice your breath. Follow it in and out. just letting your breath stay natural for this beginning meditation. No need to change it or adjust it. And we're going to work with mantra here. So mantra is a phrase or sound that's repeated. And the mantra we're going to use is 2 syllables. It's so, hum. So, hum. So this mantra roughly translates as I am that. That. What does that mean? And I think it can mean I am that which is around me. I am everything, right? That idea of oneness with the universe, of feeling connected. I am you, you are me, I am the trees outside, the plants. And yes, maybe it might seem a little like woo-woo out there, but begin to maybe connect with who do you feel that connection with, right? Maybe there's a person in your life or a pet, or maybe gazing out the window and seeing the natural world, seeing some trees and feeling that connection to the earth. And we'll repeat this mantra, so hum, I am that, with our breath. So as you're inhaling, repeating to yourself, so, and as you're exhaling, repeating hum. So on your inhale, hum on your exhale. And just continue at the pace of your own breath. And if your mind wanders off, that's okay. Just gently bring it back to the mantra. So on your inhale, hum on your exhale. Doing this a few more times. And I think this mantra is a great way to connect with all 3 of these last 3 limbs of the 8-limb path of yoga. We're using dharana, that contemplative focus, by repeating the mantra over and over. And through that, we're getting into dhyana, a meditative state where we feel at one with those words. Feeling that connection of I am that. And that leads us to this state of samadhi, the state of liberation or connection, the idea of oneness with the world around us. I am that. So hum. Take 1 or 2 more breaths, repeating the mantra. And now I invite you to release the mudra. Release your hands. Place 1 hand on your chest and 1 on your belly. And just begin to lengthen and deepen your breath. With some gentle movement under your hands as you're breathing. And now, set an intention. Maybe your intention connects with that idea of oneness and connection. Maybe it's about something for self-care, for turning inward to replenish yourself. Just taking a moment to set it and repeat it gently to yourself. And when you're ready, release your hands down. Just resting your hands on your legs. Now we'll just begin some movements, connecting them with our deep, even breath. So let's inhale and grow nice and tall, lengthening your spine up. With your exhale, gaze over your right shoulder, keeping your chin parallel with the ground, so not letting your chin drop. Just turning your head as much as you feel comfortable. Take one more breath here, and then slowly with your next inhale, come back through center. With your exhale, turn your head the other way. Again, trying to keep the chin parallel, still sitting nice and tall. Take one more breath here. Inhale, come back to center. With your next exhale, drop your right ear down towards your right shoulder. Take a couple of gentle, deep breaths. You might place your right hand very gently on your head and reach your left fingertips down and out so shoulders relax. One more breath. And then slowly release and lift your head up. And the hands are optional, so finding the way to do this that feels best for your body. It doesn't have to look the same as how I'm doing. Inhale here, grow tall. Exhale, left ear down towards your left shoulder. Take a moment to settle in. Notice how it feels on this side. It could feel very different. And see if you need your hand on your head here. You might not. It could be too intense. Find what feels right for you. You can always come out of a pose and movement at any time. One more breath here. And then slowly come out when you're ready. Take your time. And now we're going to move our head up and down gently. Inhaling, lifting our chin, lifting our gaze, our drishti. Exhaling, dropping our chin to our chest. Continuing to move with your breath. So now we're doing a dynamic movement of one breath, one movement. Our breath is guiding. Notice as you're inhaling, making sure that the back of your neck is staying long. It's not feeling crunched or pinched in the back of your neck. So really try to lengthen the back of your neck even as you open your throat. And now we're going to begin to add in some more movement with our whole spine, not just our cervical spine or our neck. So when you inhale next, we're going to bring our chest forward, tilt our pelvis forward, and lift our gaze and open our throat. And then when you exhale next, round your whole spine back, tilting your pelvis back, your navel comes in towards your spine as your chin comes down to your chest. And move a few times like this, seated cat and cow. Saying hello to your spine. So this is a great one if your back is feeling stiff. Now we're going to add in one more layer, if that feels good for your body. With your next inhale, sweep your arms out and back, palms face back, chest comes forward, gaze is up. Exhale, sweep your arms forward, palms in, like you're giving someone a big hug, rounding in. Drawing inward. Inhale, open. Exhale, round. Keep going at the pace of your own breath. And I think this pose really demonstrates the balance of moving outward in the world with our inhale. We're opening up. We're saying, hey, I'm doing, whatever I need to do, the work I need to do, speaking up for what I believe in. And then the exhale is the kind of drawing inward and taking a break, nourishing ourselves, taking that time for self-care to replenish our well. So do maybe one more. And then slowly sitting up nice and tall. Taking a few deep breaths here. So we always want to check in with our breath and make sure we can maintain it deep and even, long and smooth. And if at any time you're doing movements and you realize that you can't, that your breath is getting shallow or you're holding your breath, using that as a signal to change what you're doing in the body. Maybe take a break from a pose or take a different variation. So now we're going to move our arms up to cactus arms, bending our elbows, palms forward, opening across our chest. Again, this is a more active pose. So this is when we've replenished and now we're going out to take action in the world. But then we often need to rest. So now we're going to exhale and twist over to the right and then bring our hands down. Let our arms relax. Left hand comes to the right knee. Right hand comes towards the back of your chair or behind you. And ease as much as you need to back behind you. Twist as much as you need to, not just from the shoulders, but think of from your torso as well, and move your hips as well if you need to. And this, I think, twists are good opportunities, and we're going to stay here for a couple breaths, to not push ourselves too hard, right? We don't want to overdo our twist and hurt our back. So just kind of see what you need. Maybe your twist is very small and you're more easing to the side rather than behind. Or even, you need to come out of the twist. It's up to you, right? Seeing what you need to nourish yourself. And then we'll slowly, when you're ready, we're going to come back to center with those cactus arms, bending the elbows, taking a couple breaths here, opening across your chest. And then exhale over to the other side. Gazing back behind you. Breathing deep. And determining how much that you need to breathe, or twist, on this side, still maintaining that deep breathing breath. And when you're ready, come back to center. Let's bring our arms all the way up now, overhead, reaching up through your fingertips. And with your exhale, fold forward. Bring your hands maybe to your knees. You could just stay about halfway down. Or if you want, you might begin to fold forward deeper, rounding your back if that feels okay. And bring your hands down to your feet and let your head fall down, moving inward. So kind of up to you, seeing what you need